Hi. Sind wir schon am Start?
Ich glaube schon.
Hi.
Hallo.
Hi, Tarek.
Hi. Welcome. Directly switch to English. Yeah, because I upgraded the stream and I also have the chat in view if some people are joining in. And as you can see in the screen, it's better than before because I got... we have another one joining. One moment, I have to add him to this thing, and then I will explain to you why this is so cool. Let me
to the thing, please.
Yeah. let me add you to the thing. Because wait. This is something that we never used before. Yeah. There he is. Can see the magic live. And there he is. The special thing is that we now have the NDI interface enabled. So this means that I have access to the individual camera streams that you input into Teams. So I do not have to make something like a screen capture of the small Teams window and cut all the individual feeds out of this, but I get a high quality video feed from the Teams server, so I can directly include all of your video feeds directly into the screen. And so now we have high quality production screen for the tech review. This is amazing, right? Oh, and by the way, I have a soundboard. And not only that, I'm also totally prepared on what we are going to talk about, and because this is of all of our best favorite topics, I have created some macros like this one. So when it's time to talk about killer robots, then I have the matching macro. So for all the millions of people who are watching us live, quickly introduction what we are doing here. The Tech Review is our forum where we sit together and talk about the latest headlines in news in the world of technology, virtual reality, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, whatever, artificial intelligence. And let me check. I think we have one viewer. So, welcome, viewer number one. This is a okay. Maybe it's like a default bot from YouTube or something like that. Okay.
Or is it Alex maybe watching her?
Maybe it's Alex. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Okay, yeah, let's jump in. Let me check. I saw that we had one post from Micha, and then, Chris obviously also posted. So since Micha is not here, okay. I will start because my posts are the oldest. So, yeah, this story. I really like the story because it tells us that Amazon is reportedly using algorithms to fire flex delivery drivers. And this is something that amazed me on the one hand because it sounds pretty awesome, but on the other hand it's of course very terrible. The one thing that I was always interested in is the way that all these big tech companies are steering their processes. And one thing that Amazon was doing is hire these flex drivers. So drivers who are not employed, like directly employed in the company, but you can download the app and say, okay, I want to be a flex driver, and so it's a little bit like Uber. I get some deliveries that I can pick up and bring to customers, and then I get paid for this, like on-demand deliverables. And they are getting rated by the customers. So you probably know if you get an Amazon delivery, you get this email, are you satisfied with the deliverable? And you can say, yeah, very, very happy or not happy at all, because if the driver throws away the package or it does not arrive or something, you can give him a bad rating. And Amazon was doing this automatically. So people were downloading this app and registering for the service, being a flex delivery driver. But the algorithm was also firing people automatically. So if their rating goes below a certain threshold, or if some things are happening that are programmed into this that are considered bad, then they are automatically fired. And whenever they tried to talk to someone, there was nobody there because everything was automated. And so it's very, very efficient process for Amazon, and with their huge crowd of delivery drivers, they do not have to care about them because they have their business. But on the other hand, it's of course an amazing example of amazing in the positive and negative way of how we are already able to automate all these processes. And in theory, we can hire people and we can fire people completely automatically, controlled by artificial intelligence or some algorithms. And I like this one thing that they write here. Amazon said drivers' claims of poor treatment and unfair termination. It was a very long setup for this one. We're anecdotal and don't represent the experience of the vast majority of flex drivers. And so, of course, Amazon says it's not a huge problem and some people are unhappy as always, but it seems to be a fact that this whole process is steered by an AI. And so this is something we should have an eye on if this is the future of HR. What do you think? Are you fans?
This reminds me actually of the article we had last week, the Technologie review, which was about artificial intelligence use in companies and lots of management levels within the company don't understand the way AI works, and don't have a sense of ethics in the AI environment. So that seems to fit a little bit into that direction.
Right. It's always the question if you want to handle your company in an ethical way or in an efficient way. And ideally, you can manage both. But if you don't have to, obviously, some companies they decide for efficiency. Yeah. Yeah, but right, ethical. It's a good question because different countries or different cultures will bring in different ways of ethical thinking. Yeah, and there might be some cultures where you say, okay, it's the health of the company stands above all because the company is feeding you, and so everything you have to do is be true to the company's values. Yeah, and so if you report in sick, then you are the bad guy.
I think the problem is not AI here, but generally like the development of working for like most of humanity. So if I would discuss like the ethics here, then I wouldn't discuss like relate to AI, but generally like how humans are employed now in the coming.
Yeah, the big problem in this example was that the AI was doing its job, but it was not its job to interact actually with the employees. Yeah, and so the basic thing of having someone to talk to complain to, or to discuss your individual case was not there. And yeah. It's like the basic human thing to have someone to talk to. It's already gone.
Yeah, maybe there should have been a hotline.
Yeah. I mean, it's the easiest thing to have a bot answering the phone, right? I want to complain about the other bot. Yeah, problem solved. Okay, let me jump to the next one. So the other one that I brought, I was not 100% clear, sure if I want to bring this in because it's a little bit inconclusive what this means. There was the news headline that Discord acquired an augmented reality startup named Ubiquity6. And of course, usually if a company obtains or buys another company, this means that they have some strategic plans of doing something with their technology. And since Discord is a gaming communication company and they might want to do something with augmented reality, it sounds really, really cool. But when I read the article, it's a little bit weird because they are writing that this AR company was not doing really well, and they started jumping on this big augmented reality train what you have on your smartphone, and they were expecting that this market was exploding, and they started creating apps for that. But since this did not really go well, they shifted and they stopped developing this platform, and they started working on something that what was it? Displayland, an application which was aimed to gamify the process of 3D scanning physical environments. So a little bit in the field of AR. And then they created a platform called Backyard, which was designed for pandemic era. What was it? Like a gaming, was it something like a gaming platform, but not AR related. So it looked like they were leaving this field of AR, and now they are bought by Discord. And so I'm not sure if this means that Discord has some plans to use the old approaches that Ubiquity6 brought with AR, or if they just needed developers or something, and that's why they bought this company. So this article is a little bit inconclusive. If we can actually learn something from this, if Discord is now going somehow into the field of AR. Yeah. Did anyone of you hear about this? Okay. I hope that maybe Chris had some insights or saw something about what was going on there.
No, really, sorry.
Maybe we will learn in the near future if Discord is publishing maybe some press release or something that they are going to build something. Okay. But I have a third one. This one is again AI related. And it's about the WHO, who for the first time was reporting on AI in healthcare, because it's of course something that we touch more and more. And their report had some positive and some negative aspects. And it's interesting to see how official entities are thinking about the way AI works. And what they say is a good thing in AI is that we already use these predictive capabilities for assisting our medical professionals, where we get like this automated diagnosis of X-ray images, for example, or if you have some data and you need to evaluate what it means, then AI is a very powerful tool to support you. But what they are afraid of is that we will soon step over this virtual line where we use AI as some kind of tool, and we use it actually as an artificial doctor, because the AI gets more powerful and more accurate in their predictions, that at some point of time we can assume that the judgment of the AI is better than the judgment of the human doctor. And this might be good in certain cases, as we discussed in the past about autonomous driving, right? But the moment that this AI doctor is a black box and you can't really explain why the doctor is doing or why this AI is doing the things that it's doing, it's really hard to trust if this is now really what needs to be done in terms of medical procedures, right? So we know, okay, this AI is wiser and more powerful than the human, so we should trust it. But at the same time, when can we decide that it actually knows better than we do? Yeah, it reminded me a little bit to our discussion from last time, where we said, okay, autonomous driving might never come to reality because there are still too many unknown factors. But at some point, there needs to be this leap of faith where we say, okay, we trust that this AI is more powerful than we are, or we will never come to this point that the AI will actually work in an autonomous way. Yeah. And that's, especially in the medical field, I think this discussion, or maybe this is the most powerful example of where we draw the line and say, okay, AI is a powerful tool, but we will never grant the AI the rights that we grant human professionals, for example. Yeah, with self-driving cars, maybe, but medical procedures, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the state made that the question raised if or not trust an AI. This actually refers not mathematically just mentioned, but all fields, like just the same question to higher people, as you just had first article, or the discussion like robots should or not educate people. Or you name it, right? So ethics comes topic. So it's always question one AI or not, especially if there's a black between which you don't really understand. And you only have like partial control. So in the end, as always trust and my case, I would not trust AI, and others might, depending on the case. But yeah. In the end, it's I think a question of the ethics and the motivation of the deciders, right? So nowadays, doctors' decisions might be careful. Maybe might be other opinions than military things decided already. So we probably be a little more careful, but others deciders have done already. We have to transfer decisions like that to autonomous systems. Otherwise, we might be slow in pressing the others like that. So yeah. Decisions going on, and the decision on people actually sitting in front of buttons quite often.
I mean,
also medical issues. There's like real-time decision making, like driving or atom bombs. So you can always, for example, just use it as opinion, and then like maybe the specialist has thought. Like I think this is better. I didn't come to that. So doesn't have to be autonomous.
Yeah.
And also like there's also things you think about one get your assessment and point of view like you normal as well. If it's something like crucial to your life decision making.
I was just thinking that in the end, what happened with the evaluation from the AI and the patient or it's relative. They have to make a decision based on that, like we want to treat the AI suggests or what the doctor suggests, and it's like even without AI, you get like doctors evaluation no matter what the patient on, and it would get to the point that AI just like to a sex doctor, and then in the end it's a patient relative what they make with it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, real-time definitely makes a difference. But one thing is quite clear is AI and AI just come closer, say, into our real lives, right? Into our normal lives. And also mentioned that sometimes also a question of the conditions of the surrounding environment. Let's say having a third or fourth, just a second opinion on such issue, medical issue. That might be true, like for our society and for countries leaders in the first world, like think about third world, for instance. There maybe as not okay, then that might be a good alternative actually. At least have some opinion, and then at that point, that stage might be helpful. So at least you have an opinion if you have access to systems like that.
Let me drive this point a little step further, because you are now talking about this might be the best choice, but let's think economically, and we know that all this development is driven by companies and they try to make a profit. And a doctor is very expensive. It might be that at some point of time, people can't afford a human doctor anymore. And so healthcare for the poor, or maybe even healthcare in the third world, means there are no doctors anymore. And you have this budget healthcare system where this AI is deciding treatments based on whatever factors is available on this hospital. And it's not really a choice of if you want to have this doctor or if it's wise to get this doctor, but it's simply the cheapest option. A human doctor is maybe expensive. Or maybe the other way around. Maybe the good doctors, maybe the rich people are then treated by AI because the treatment is better that way. I don't know. No? But at the end, I think this economical factor will be way bigger in the future when AI is becoming cheap. And I think this is what already happens.
Might be, but might also had direct, right? So also depending on how the AI system being taught, right? So whatever decisions being integrated from which the AI system learns, it might also like then the more from the economic statement position, the more expensive treatments than cheaper ones. If the AI system belongs to a medical health company, for instance, who wants to sell that stuff. Also here, you never should trust. And maybe just have like different parameters in one system, like cool companies, cool people on the one hand, for the people who live in some kind of wealth or rich people, then maybe based on the same system, might have different suggestions on the treatment, just based on economic aspects again. Again, you have question of trust, and also the economic direction. So, no clear answer. But in general, I agree with you. So if we take like the honest AI as the basis of discussion, then would be definitely forward and nice invention to put that into some kind of medical healthcare in general for
Right. Because I think I just renamed the camera. I just got a message regarding the live stream, and they say something is wrong with the audio. That's sad. Okay. Obviously, not everything works as intended. Okay, yeah, I will fix that for the next time. Damn it. But what I wanted to say is, because the pharma industry, the pharma industry already has this huge lobby where they try to pay doctors that they prescribe the medicine from this particular pharmaceutical company. And in the future, I could imagine that a company like Pfizer also, they will sponsor the robot AI, because then they do not have to lobby to the human doctors to prescribe their medicine, right? In the future, then if the doctor is sponsored or created by Pfizer, then of course it will primarily distribute Pfizer pharmaceutical products.
Yeah. But would that raise the measure of cost, so to say, AI system?
Good question.
So I'm not quite sure if pharma, big pharma is always friend.
Yeah, not a friend. Pretty obvious. But I mean, as we go this way, like becomes more cheap, and then therefore replace doctors, then also very likely that we get like pretty decent free source stuff. That is probably free of pharma and stuff. We always really like people who will use technology and give it to people. So I think we will get some decent minimum AI that will be like out of influence from companies and stuff. So I'm not too afraid of that. And there will be, of course, like more advanced, high things from companies. But I think there are also terms like open street map or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Let's maybe jump to the next link, because Chris also brought something.
Yeah. This is about AR. I like the article because it has a little bit different perspective on the whole topic. It says reality changed the way we buy, drive cars. And the guy he actually states that AR is one of the next things we all know. But he says, but probably not the way we think it will be. Right? Not like with smartphones or with glasses or something, at least not in the near future. But what happens already is that AR will change, especially the way we buy and drive cars. And if you look at the article, he says that, I mean, nothing that's new, but it's quite convincing. That he says, yeah, look, you have like three elements which AR actually will be integrated in the field, in the environment, cars and driving. And this first thing, of course, was all the added information in the front view, right? So like distance to the car, front view, navigational instructions, like the additional information on speed, temperature, whatever, which is augmented directly in your front screen. So this is definitely quite cool thing. It happens nowadays already, and it is definitely something which is or has been adapted already by the car manufacturers. So this is an area where AR really works already by now. Then the second aspect he mentions is the manual. So that the manual as such is going to be augmented, and not only on paper, but also like if you open the hood, for instance, and then you have a view at the engine, can have some explanations overlaid in the camera view or something, so that you the navigational aspect I mentioned already. Yeah, exactly. So that the navigational the direction, everything where you want to go is to be implemented as well into the either front view or a certain specific monitor where you have better understanding of where to go. And all of this actually happens already nowadays in cars. So this is something where AR really works. And maybe guys right. If we look at reality, all the other aspects, like ad campaigns, so it's rising.
Yeah, I think this is always the big question, where we are going to use certain technologies. And I personally, I'm always waiting for having AR in my glasses and use it every single day. But in the consumer market, it's so hard to predict where we actually are going to use it. And you're totally right. This in this direction, we can already profit from this.
But this is usually very specific, right? Based on the industry where AR is being used. But for the consumer market, for the mass market, so I would say, as said, this is at the moment the only example where you can really tell that AR is working in big numbers in the near future. Maybe, of course, also the social media and all the lenses and that stuff. This is also big numbers. But this is entertainment, and of course it's also a market. But if you're really looking for like sensible use cases for this technology, I think, as said, the car environment is indeed the most promising one.
Still struggling a little bit with the setup here. So, one moment. This is that's what I wanted to do. There we go. I have to put on better labels in here, otherwise I won't see what I'm doing. No. Why is this? Okay. Okay, Chris, I can't see you anymore, but Yeah,
Then
I
still
just
there.
I had someone in the actually chatting to me that I made a mistake with the sound. So today the sound was not very clean because I have these different streams that are coming in with a different camera feed, and I did not know that Teams is actually also broadcasting the audio signal. And so I had like this double audio signal once from my Teams and then additionally from your camera feed, and so there was some kind of echo in the feed, but now it's working again. There you are. Okay. Yeah, it's always the problems that we have when we start using some new technology. Okay, yeah, let me just jump to the next one. Oh yeah, deepfake.
Yeah, that was actually a quite cool article, I thought. Lots of examples in there showing the state of deepfakes in 2020. So the current, more or less the current state of deepfakes. Lots of examples in there, as said. And it like shows a little bit the development of how deepfakes have improved during the years from 2014 till now. So how the resolution actually had been changed and improved, and all the movements and so, and all the details which you can see. And then it also refers to lots of the use cases where deepfakes are being used. I mean, as for the positive as well as for the negative, right? So, like for instance, if we look at the first video here, then we see Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in a video together, which they never did. Nice one. So this is then for entertainment purpose. So this might be a positive aspect of deep learning. Then we have.
You can tell me where I should scroll.
Okay, so that was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, as said. So funny one. Yeah. Then, of course, we have also the negative aspects of the whole thing, right? Like with especially in the area of politics, where politicians actually say something which they never did, which is then being spread via the channels, various channels, and especially people who are not into or too deep or so deep into all this new technology, then they see this video and then they think, wow, that's for real, or that's the real thing. And that, of course, might lead to misunderstandings. Let's put it this way. So especially in the area of politics, that might be, well, a problem, as we all know. Then we have other use cases, which is the one here with Putin and Kim Jong-un, which is quite interesting. Here they have used it. They have used the deepfake to let them tell things which they never did, to make some kind of advertisement for democracy and for voting, actually, to keep democracy strong.
Should I run one of the videos?
Yeah, just go for the first one, for instance.
Democracy is a fragile thing, more fragile than you want to believe. If the election fails, there is no democracy. I don't have to do anything. You're doing it to yourselves. People are divided. Your voting districts are manipulated. Voting locations are closing, so millions can't vote. It's not hard for democracy to collapse. All you have to do is nothing.
Very nice.
Yeah, and then as said, this is like an ad, so to say, advertisement from a group who wants to keep democracy strong. And this is a very nice example. The Indian guy here, I like this one a lot. So he is some kind of politician in some kind of Indian area there, and there he actually in the original he puts his statement in his original language. But since he wanted to reach not only people understanding his language, but also like languages like also people who have like not his original language and might not understand that, he did some kind of deep fake of what he said in English, so that also the people not understanding his original language understand what he wanted to tell them. And that, I think, was a very interesting aspect of deepfakes, to get a message through to people you would not reach otherwise. So it's the same guy, but he's, well, telling something which he never did in this language, which he never spoke before, or at least
Jai
not
Sri
in the
Ram.
statement.
Greetings to all. Friends,
So quite cool, I thought.
Interestingly, I don't have audio anymore.
So what I just wanted to say is that if we think about deepfakes, we usually think about like the bad use cases you can do with deepfakes, right? But as we can see here, there are also like various other use cases where the so-called deepfakes might be used for some whatever kind of positive purpose. May it be entertainment, may it be education, whatever, may it be communication. So the technology as such is not to be condemned, so to say, from the beginning, but it has some precious use cases where it can be actually be very useful.
Yeah,
And as
thanks.
said,
I think that's a
quality is striking.
nice, pretty nice example, Chris, of how this can be actually really useful, especially like in countries like India, where they have so many dialects that they can't, that like English is the lingua franca.
Exactly.
And for politicians, I think it's so much nicer, like, to reach people if you speak in their like home language, in their original language. Like, if someone talks to me in my favorite language, I'm more open to believe what he says, I think, than if it's my second or third language. So if this guy is authentic and he just wants to get the message through, then it's a great use case for this technology, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really curious. I mean, for us, it's astonishing new technology, and I'm so curious to see if the future generations who will grow up with this kind of technology, in the sense that it works perfectly and you can't distinguish a deepfake video from a real video, that how will people in the future react to this kind of stuff? Is there a merit of seeing a video of someone talking, or do they need some kind of mechanism to actually understand what he really said? Because everything can be generated for entertainment purposes. Yeah, let's say I create a movie where I put in arbitrary actors, and I can put in there Donald Trump and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it looks real because it's perfectly deepfaked. And so if I don't have a mechanism to verify this, I can't believe anything anymore that I see somewhere on videos. And we already know that the latest generation of graphics cards, they support this in real time. And so you can have like a real-time press conference answering questions with the face of Donald Trump or something like that. Yeah, and so you can't even trust real-time video feeds. So, and I'm really curious to see if how future generations will deal with this question if they grow up with this, and it's not new astonishing technology, but simply the state of the art of how we use media. Yeah, this of course is also one of the downsides of the new technology, right? So
because it's actually undermining the trust in what you see, what you hear, since everything can be faked. So in that sense, it doesn't make any difference if there is a positive or a negative deepfake. Just the fact that it is a deepfake probably might make people distrust to everything they see. And in the end, this, if we take that some steps further, might also be a threat to democracy as well, right? Since you are not sure, or if you cannot trust like nobody and nothing you see, you hear, then of course this is not the best side condition, or the best condition anyways, to build a stable system.
I could imagine that. Sorry.
To build a stable political system. I mean,
I could imagine that in the future there will be a new market for some kind of real-time watermarking, where the camera has some kind of LiDAR sensor and it authenticates that your face is actually your face, and through a trusted third party you get some kind of a real watermark. And so you see a video feed, and only because your device receives this the signed watermark from this trusted third party, it means that the camera that is filming right now verifies with a LiDAR sensor the authenticity of the face or something that is filmed there. And so you have something like a verified Donald Trump video feed with a third-party watermark on it, or something like that. It's no just spitballing, just brainstorming what could be possible, but this might be a technology that will come up in the future to verify the authenticity of an unmodified video feed.
Might be, but I think also that or something like that could be falsified. And I mean, if you have a level of distrust already in like broad amounts of the society, since it's a technical thing, right? And that makes the whole thing complicated, and not everybody is a technician. Like 30 years ago, it was clear, if it's on television, then it's authentic. And nowadays, it's not the case. And so if people once will learn that what you see might not be the real thing, then a little watermark, which is also just a digital asset in the end, which is overlaid there, might or might not be true. So people might or might not trust it. So I think if trust has gone due to all this new technology, it will be quite difficult actually to gain it back.
Yeah, I mean, of course, this if we talk about this concrete implementation of this watermark, the watermark can't be integrated in the video feed. It must be generated by my client, because otherwise it's just a picture that anyone can render in there. But you have today the same thing. You have digitally signed documents where you can be sure that a third party verifies that it's true. The signature should not be able to be forged by the one who creates this document. And I think if, let's say, I have this Teams client, then Teams would display this watermark in the client, not in the video feed, as we have today in the browser, where the browser says there is a valid SSL certificate. And I as a website provider, can't just display the verified SSL sign in the browser, because it's not in my control. And so if we have something like this verification mechanism, then of course it would be in Teams or in whatever streaming client I use to receive this feed. And so I have like this green light or a green bubble that tells me that somehow a third party verified that it is true, and this one is certified somehow, as we have today with SSL certificates. Maybe
I think as long as the society is stable and ordered, there's no problem to verify those things and like distinguish between truth and fake. I think the problem is when you go into like unstable countries or situations where people don't have access to like verification infrastructure, or like where like political groups are fighting each other and there's like no no government regulation, and it's like everybody's broadcasting like what they want people to do, like maybe like Bürgerkrieg, stuff like this. I think in these scenarios, this can be really a war, an element of war, like to get people going into your direction. I would think like there we see the most abuse of this technology, while in like stable countries, I think we will deal with this quite properly.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah, I mean, I really like this idea. Maybe, I mean, not the idea of everything is fake, but the idea to pick up this challenge. Maybe we should just build this watermarking system as a prototype, right? That's what we do.
Yeah, right.
Lars, this is probably your opinion, as long as you are not being fired by an AI.
Well, then I get hired by another AI.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the AI fires you, closes all your accounts, and then just takes over your identity by simply deepfaking your face into all of our video conferences, and for the next years we won't even know that you have been fired.
And then AI gets my salary.
Nice, not the future, yeah.
That's how it starts. Maybe we are all already gone. We all are replaced by AIs, and we are all deepfaked into this meeting.
Matrix.
Yep, there is a simulation idea that we all could be simulated, but no, doesn't really make sense to go into that, I think.
Okay, Chris, did you have another link?
Yeah, the last one.
Yes.
This is actually quite cool, I thought. Varjo is offering a reality cloud. So what they do is with their latest headset, the XR3, they have also these LiDAR cameras in there, and they can scan the environment, the personal environment of the user, and transfer that to a second user, so that he actually gets the impression, the more or less, they say, the perfect visual impression of the room you are currently in, right? And then this is not just a picture, like a 360 picture or something. This is really a walkable 3D environment of the room the sender actually currently is in. So this is like a Matterport thing, right? So and I thought that's also quite cool. So it does not seem to be perfect, as we can see it here, like very often with these photogrammetry and volumetric measurements and designs. But it's quite cool, right? So and here we see, like, also with XR3 live recorded picture of a guy who's then being transferred into the views of the recipient. So this is, so to say, an AR integration within the Varjo headset. But as I said, the first example was actually recording the environment you are in, then teleporting that to a receiver who actually has the same impression, the same view as you have of your personal environment. And then you might actually meet the guys in there and have some kind of discussion. That might actually, so to say, the teams of the future.
I love it so much, and I'm so sad that this is actually what the Magic Leap was all about, and this was their big picture and their big vision. And so it's so tragic to see now, step by step, companies picking up this trail and making reality was what Magic Leap was planning in 2018 to do with their headset. Now we are on a level where this AR technology is actually capable of doing this. And I mean, yeah, of course, it doesn't look perfect, but it works, right? It's really amazing. And this is exactly what I want to have with AR.
This is more or less, I wouldn't say prototype level, but it's the first level, of course, right? So, and there will be improvements, definitely. Also, the quality which we see here will be improved during or within the next months, so that the whole system will be closer to reality.
Really cool. And this. Okay. And this is a new. Is the hardware already there? So only the cloud platform is new, or how do I understand this?
This is the new hardware actually from the Varjo XR3 headset.
Okay. And the cloud service is like an add-on that they develop in parallel. Okay.
Yeah, and the combination of both actually enables the users to create this kind of, well, they call it teleport.
Really nice. And did you read if this is already planned for the consumer market, or is this only in the B2B space?
I don't think so, to be honest. Not yet. So this seems to be an enterprise solution.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool, but revolutionary. Okay. So,
and this is, as you said, this is also what they had in mind after Magic Leap actually didn't succeed to set up their own metaverse and also to combine various surroundings. So you can use them again and again, right? If you have this cloud service, you can like select from all your like favorite spaces, get in there, put it somebody else. The only thing I didn't quite understand was what they do with the avatars. So how they actually would integrate other people in there. So probably it's not a comic avatar, so there should be some kind of real life avatar in there. And this is not really explained in there. So you yourself see the room, but if somebody else gets in there, so if it's a multiplayer game, then how does the other person actually appear in there?
Yeah. I think there can only be two options. Either you have a pre-scanned avatar that is then rendered on the fly, or they assume that in the future your room also has cameras, so you basically have an inside-out tracking on your headset, but also cameras in the room that are picking up your image and then render this in there. And I think just like the classic VR headsets that have these sensors on the walls, it might be something like that. So it already exists in some way, but it would be cumbersome.
Yeah, it sounds like lots of effort actually. So the guy we've seen in the video, as far as I got it, he had been filmed by another headset, by an XR3, and then it has been integrated, so to say, into the view. But this, of course, is not the classical creation of an avatar. So let's keep that. Let's keep an eye on that and see what happens in the near future. But this, from my point of view, is a very, very interesting development which is going on there.
Yeah. And I really love that these companies are investing so much in this field, even though it is not really foreseeable how much revenue they are going to do with this technology in the short term, because you won't have a large market where you roll this technology out, and so for the next years it will be simply research investment and building these prototypes and these platforms before they actually can make money with this. But I
Well,
really
then
like
they go in line with Magic Leap.
Yeah, I mean this is the curse of Magic Leap. Yeah, they were not fast enough to actually hit the consumer market or any kind of market where their investors could get anything out of it. I mean they were for 4 years, 5 years, and they burned billions.
Yeah, but they actually wanted to conquer the consumer market, right? And I think in this case, they are looking, they have to focus more or less in the enterprise environment with that.
But even,
And here you have like different use cases, and it's more focused, it's more sharp, the case. So like if we think about collaboration in VR or something on a much higher level as we have it today, then that might be a solution for the near future. And then that would be something which you would be able to sell. In contrast to a Magic Leap metaverse, which actually was meant for the whole world, so to say, for a mass market, which is not ready yet to adapt that.
Yeah. But even there, I'm not sure if the business market is large enough to actually make this development really profitable. And what we see with the HoloLens of Microsoft is that their biggest client is the US military, right? Because they actually use AR technologies in their everyday life. And I'm not sure how many big businesses are utilizing this kind of technology on a daily basis. And so I'm not sure if this market is big enough to actually make it profitable.
I think there will be a market, like especially with the current situation which we have, the pandemic situation, the environment situation, that people also from businesses do not want to afford or are just not allowed, like to fly, for instance, from one base to the other, from one station to the next location, to their customers, whatever. So whenever they have the chance actually to meet each other in a more or less realistic environment, to discuss any kinds of products, whatever, then that definitely might be a substitute for traveling. And I mean, we see all these developments all over the world at the moment, and probably it will actually stay. So I think that like applications like these will have a nice future.
Okay. Yeah.
Time is running up.
That is true. Thank you, Lars. You're totally right. We are already over time. Thank you very much for your input, for your links. Was as always a great discussion, and talk to you in 2 weeks.
I'm on holiday then, but
okay.
You guys can
you.
Oh yeah, me too.
Really? Okay, then you have to come into the live stream, because wherever you are, all you have to do is open YouTube and you can watch. Even though if all of you are gone, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this by my own and sit there in front of the camera.
I might be able to join because I'm already in France, but I'm planning to work the first 1 or 2 days still.
Okay, let's see.
So then it's 3 of us. It's the one unknown watcher, and then Lars and me. So we have like 3 people in the live stream.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, and talk to you later. Bye.